What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Sixth Man Show. Today we got a lot of great stuff to talk about, so let's get to it, yo. Alright, the NBA has started their playoffs, and it's the first round right now, and there's a lot of games on, and I want to just talk about some of the playoff games. So to start it off, the Golden State Warriors are playing the Houston Rockets in the first round, and the Golden State Warriors are already up 2-0 in that series. Next, the Toronto Raptors Indiana Pacers series. That series is tied at 1-1. Next, Dallas OKC, and that series is tied 1-1. And then you got Atlanta Boston, and Atlanta is up 1-0 in that series. And then San Antonio is up on Memphis in their series 1-0. Now, with all these series, I only see probably like 2 being a sweep. And the ones I see being a sweep, I see the Warriors taking care of business against the Rockets. And then I see San Antonio taking care of business against the Memphis Grizzlies. All the others, I feel, have potential to go to Game 6s and Game 7s. So keep an eye out for those games and root for your team if they're in the playoffs. Alright, now moving on, I want to talk about Steph Curry and his injury. Now, Steph Curry, because of an injury, did not play in Game 2, and that seemed to not have any detrimental consequences on the Warriors. They seemed to just play their game and do what they always do, and that's winning. And they won Game 2, which makes them up 2-0 in the series. All right, now, the NBA has started handing out their awards. And the first award they've already handed out is Defensive Player of the Year award. And this year's is Kawhi Leanord of the San Antonio Spurs. Now, he also won it last year, so that makes it back-to-back years. Going back-to-back. Shout out to Drake. Alright, now, Kawhi Leanord is the first player since Dennis Rodman, who's a non-big, to win it back-to-back, which is pretty good. And what I like about Kawhi Leanord, yes, he's an awesome two-way player, can get it done on the offensive end and defense, but you can definitely see he puts his mind and effort on the defensive side. And I like players like that. Alright, now moving on. This is Pissin Me Off, and this Pissin Me Off is the Game 1s of this year's playoffs. Now, almost every Game 1 this year so far has been blowout city. And I'm going to name off the games that were blowouts, starting with the Warriors killing the Houston Rockets, and the score of that game was 104-78. Next, the Oklahoma City Thunder just destroying the Dallas Mavericks, and the score of that game was 108-70. And in the third quarter, the Thunder were up by as many as 48 points. For crying out loud, 48 points. That's almost 50 points. Man, Dallas Mavericks, you gotta show up. I know that's Game 1. You guys are freaking a playoff team. Come on. Alright, now, the Miami Heat killed the Charlotte Hornets, and the score of that game was 123-91. And man, in that game, Dwayne Wade looked really good. He looked like his young self in that game. Now, the Spurs beating the Memphis Grizzlies, and the score of that game was 106-74. Now that's pretty straightforward. Spurs right now and for the past like 15 years have been one of the best NBA teams in history. And the Grizzlies, I can understand why they scored 74 points. They're a grinded out team, and still only scoring 74 points even for them, that's low. Because in the season, they averaged 93, 94 points a game. Now, the last blowout was the LA Clippers beating the Portland Trail Blazers, and the score of that game was 115-95. Now, that game wasn't as big of a blowout as the others, only 20 points, which makes me think the Blazers really fought in that game. Just the power of the Clippers is just going to be too much for them. And with this series, I don't see a sweep. I see it going to 5 or 6 games. I bet the Blazers will get a game on their home court in game 3 or 4. So we'll have to just wait and see. Alright, and now for my idea with this. Now, I got this idea, and I was kind of thinking about it also. So for this idea, I'm going to give credit to J.E. Skeets from The Starters that airs on NBA TV. Now, on Monday's episode of The Starters, what he was saying is that because of all these blowouts, and these are 7-game series, if teams are going to blow out other teams like this, have it just be a 5-game series. Because in a 7-game series, you need to win 4 times, and then you don't want it dragging on to 7 games, being almost like every 2 games a blowout, to where in a 5-game series, you only need 3 wins to advance, and it'd be much shorter and more entertaining to the NBA fan, whether they're a casual fan or a diehard fan. So, credit to you, J.E. Skeets. Alright, now, to end my show how I always do, words of encouragement. This week's is, the best preparation for tomorrow is being your best baller self. So go out there and just ball every day like it's your last. Alright, thanks for watching. Give this video a big thumbs up, and thanks for watching. Alright, peace. Blech.